From California, with a beach that's simply spectacular, I've come to try out the new Jeep Cherokee 2026. It's manufactured in Mexico, and it's coming to the United States with a lot of strength because they've increased the wheelbase, the space, they've made changes to the engine, very important changes. And besides that, in the trunk space, there's another important change that could be a deciding factor for many people looking for an SUV like this. Besides that, it has off-road capability, whether it's extreme, aggressive, medium, or small. Well, I'll tell you about that because they've also made changes to adjust that four-wheel drive version of the 4X4 of this Jeep Cherokee 2026. So stay tuned, because if you're looking for an SUV like this video will be very useful for you. Welcome! The front design keeps that Jeep DNA. You look at it and you know it's a Cherokee. The lines on the hood are pretty clean, and we see the Jeep logo here, prominent. The 6-slot grille, which of course is part of that historic visual identity that Jeep has. With good functionality, up here you have adaptive cruise control. More functions down below. A combination of gray and black, which looks good. You have an approach angle here, an attack angle of 19 degrees. Actually, where it has a competitive advantage is in the breakover angle. If you're going to do some off-roading, you're going to go through areas with uneven terrain. The breakover angle is 19.2 degrees, and it's important to note that this breakover angle is the best in its segment. The headlight technology in this, the limited version, includes LED daytime running lights. And we also have the LED signature in the front headlights. And further down, there's a difference, which is the fog light. We have it in LED, but in the base version, which is the one that costs you around $37,000, you won't have fog lights in that one. Continuing along the side, we're going to have trapezoidal-shaped wheel arches. And we have tires that cover an 18-inch rim. Here we see Jeep's Easter egg, 225 millimeters wide, 60 profile, and we have some pretty clean lines. It doesn't lose that identity, like I told you, of the Cherokee, which you can easily identify as one. And now I'll talk to you about another very important point, which is fuel economy. That fuel consumption is 37 miles per gallon combined, approximately 15.7 kilometers per liter. That's important. Also, it's a big improvement over the previous model, which only did 24 miles per gallon combined. Important. You'll have the cable system there, under pressure, with no cap. And another important fact about fuel economy is that with a full tank, it can give you up to 500 miles of range. That's about 800 kilometers per liter, a pretty generous figure. I think that between the previous model and this one, this could also be one of the important factors. So you can think about it, or so you consider a Jeep Cherokee 2026 over any of its competitors. Look at the fuel economy of the others and see what Jeep has done with this one. But has there been any change in the engine? That's an important detail that will influence many people's choice between a Cherokee and competitors. Well, this is a turbocharged engine, but I want to tell you something because several of the competitors have gone for powertrains, for a slightly more powerful engine. Even moving towards electrification, whether it's a plug-in hybrid or a conventional hybrid, with a bit more power. But anyway, what does the Cherokee have? I'm specifically referring to the RAV4, which offers 320 horsepower. Well, the Jeep Cherokee 2026 has opted for this turbocharged engine. That's a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine. It's a 4-cylinder engine. It's not plug-in. It's not a plug-in hybrid. It doesn't connect. It's a conventional hybrid. It has 2 electric motors. It gives you 210 horsepower and 230 pound-feet of torque. We're talking about a car, an SUV with all-wheel drive. And it's paired with what transmission, Freddy? Well, to an SVT, that SVT transmission that this Jeep Cherokee 2026 has, I mean, it's not the conventional continuously variable transmission. What's the difference? Well, this SVT has an electronic component, and it doesn't have a pulley or a belt. That's the big difference. And obviously, it prioritizes a smoother ride quality. Let's take a look at the interior to see what changes have been made in the cabin, in terms of technology, space, and quality. First, please like this video if you're enjoying it and subscribe to Freedy Car Power 360's channel. I would truly appreciate it. Click there and let's go inside to the interior part. If you remember the previous Cherokee model, or any of the models from previous years, you saw how this was very different? Look at how much it has really changed. I mean, it's impressive how they've prioritized storage spaces, wireless charging for your phone, more comfort, and a bit more spaciousness. Look at this screen here. It's a good size. Let's turn it on so you can see, let's say, the graphic quality. I like it. Has the Jeep team improved a lot after so much criticism? The interface for their infotainment screens, the speed of the commands, their cameras. Here, for example, I'm going to show you how you can split this into modules. You can also see everything. The response is much faster than in previous times. And here you have many more applications than I do. I think you're already familiar with Jeep vehicles. Everything it offers you in terms of connectivity, Android Auto, CarPlay, all of that comes integrated. I like this texture, and as for the design, I think it works well with these details. It's like they're plastics, but in a metallic tone. The audio system is Alpine. You have the air conditioning vents here at the front, thin and slim. I like it because it gives it a contemporary, modern touch. And now I'm going to show you the steering wheel, the instrument panel, also with all the information there, very practical right here. Here you have some additional controls to open the gas cap, the lights, well, the emergency brake. And to open the trunk area, you have the trunk lid release from there. Here, there's no camera mirror, we only have the conventional mirror. And well, over here you can see a bit more of that texture, with those lines that give a modern touch to this Jeep Cherokee. And the center console, look, the center console also has a spot here to place your key or your phone, circular control, and the start button. Here you have more additional storage space, and over here, more charging options as well. Here is the wireless charging for your phone. And this is the center compartment and the driving impression of this Cherokee 2026. It's going to be very important for many people, because when it comes to choosing an SUV like this, it's important to know how it drives, how it feels. And that's why I'm here. It's been raining all week in Los Angeles, but thank God it didn't rain today. And that's important because it allows us to measure the vehicle's capability. Now, one of the first impressions that's important for you to know about this Cherokee is its smoothness. I think they've prioritized having a smooth ride quality. The transition between the electric motor, because we're talking about a hybrid engine, the transition between that electric motor and the turbo is almost imperceptible. And you feel a very pleasant, very smooth ride quality, but will that affect the power, the ability to overtake other vehicles? Here's what we're considering. But before we move forward, let me explain. I want you to see this beautiful landscape. If we look at the camera over there, the beautiful scenery we're in right now. On the California coast near the city of Los Angeles, this is beautiful, a natural spectacle, and of course, we see people who come here to walk their dogs, their pickups, but this is part of sharing that driving experience. It's part of telling you, let's say, where they take us. To enjoy not only driving the car, but also to tell you about the driving sensations, but also to see these amazing landscapes in different topographies, different roads, different types of paths, also to talk to you about that, about how this Cherokee responds in different driving situations. And now, let's put this turbo to work. Now that we're on a perfect road, let's go. I have a Mazda Miata. Well, let's put it in sport mode. And in sport mode, you get a better response, and I like it. Let's say, how does this Jeep Cherokee 2026 react? Even the steering gets a little bit stiffer, you know? I mean, more communicative. We overtake. Here I have a Honda CR-V, you have no problem. You step on the accelerator. There's not too much turbo lag. This engine responds efficiently. I mean, for the balance it offers you, it's good. For city driving, everyday driving, you have tools, you have features for some off-road. Not a very extreme all-terrain, but also, if you want some dynamism, good driving dynamics, a good feeling at the wheel. On a road like the one we're experiencing right now, it also responds well. The thing is, the sound, of course, the sound of that continuously variable transmission isn't the most pleasant. There you can already feel those whining noises that I don't really like. But in general, look, there's a bit of body roll, which is normal, but it feels good. I mean, good response from the rear part as well. An important fact is that since the wheelbase has increased, there's an extra inch of legroom, which makes it quite comfortable. I like the padding or the level of padding on the seats. I think you're going to travel quite comfortably. And over here, what do you have? Conventional cup holders. Over here you have your air conditioning vents without individual controls. No. At this level, you don't have controls for your air conditioning, but what you do have is USB-C connectivity here to connect and charge your phone. And look how nice the Jeep cap they gave us is. Besides that, look, the huge panoramic sliding roof is also a very important visual detail. It might not be a deciding factor for many people, but visually, in terms of comfort and experience, the feeling you get from being in this cabin, a roof like this really helps. And how much did the Cherokee grow in 2026? Well, now it's 188 inches long and has a wheelbase of 113 inches. It has more legroom in the back, and overall, it's a little bit bigger. And here, I'm going to show you one of the parts that has grown, and is one of the most important convenience features that many people will consider. And that's the cargo space. What's going on? It's 69 cubic feet of cargo space when you have the backrests of the second row folded down, already collapsed. That's a lot of space, but look, is there enough space when those backrests are in their natural position? Well, let's see. Look here. Let's put it here and see the difference. All the cargo space you have is impressive because they prioritized that. Convenience. And here you have good space. You also have more storage space. To finish, what I don't see are buttons to fold the seats electrically. Let's say it doesn't have that. Yes, you have a 12-volt port here, and you have a way to close it. In Jeep models, this is not new. You just press a button, people look for it around here, but actually the button, the little button, is on the side, inside the cargo area, the cargo space. Now that I remember the number they mentioned in the presentation, 68.3 cubic feet, well, I said 69, so will you forgive me? Just a few millimeters in the rear area. Yes, it really keeps the Jeep identity. It doesn't lose its DNA, its visual identity. You see it from behind, and it's a Cherokee with a prominent 4x4 right here. We're talking about a full-time 4WD permanent, with the brake light integrated into this spoiler down here. The important thing to know is that the departure angle is the widest in its segment. We're talking about 29.2 degrees. And that's one of the advantages, because it's not just a car, it's a vehicle that gives you a good balance in the city, but also for off-roading, as it will be more useful. However, it's not an extreme off-roader, but you have a good departure angle there, which will allow you to do some bolder maneuvers, something that competing vehicles can also do. The suspension feels like they've prioritized comfort, as I've mentioned in other parts of the video. It's a suspension that, yes, puts a bit more emphasis on ride quality. It's smooth, a ride with a pretty soft feel. As for driving modes, we have 4 that you activate from here in the center console. With a small lever, you have a standard driving mode. You have an automatic driving mode. To achieve better levels of efficiency in any situation. You have the sport driving mode, which is the one I'm using right now, where there's a better response and you have more control. Snow. Obviously, if you live in a northern area where it snows, where you have to deal with driving conditions in the snow, have they calibrated that driving mode so you can drive with confidence? A lot of people feel intimidated when there's snow, because for obvious reasons, for safety reasons, it's more slippery. Well, this is a permanent 4x4, and when you have it in snow mode, that's when the permanent 4x4 is active. This gives you confidence while driving and ensures a safe drive. If you want an SUV or any vehicle, it's crucial to stay quiet at the dealer. That's the focus of my digital book, Keep Your Mouth Shut at the Dealer, because there are things you can't say, since they have a lot of strategies and they'll use them against you at some point to get more money out of you. So in the description of this video, I tell you how to download it. Keep your mouth shut at the dealer so you can have the chance to make a good deal. You have the 2026 Jeep Cherokee. What do you think about it? Rate it from 1 to 10. What do you think is its most convenient feature compared to its competitors? Would you buy this one? Would you buy a Toyota RAV4? Which SUV would you choose in such a competitive, tough segment? Or have you definitely liked what Jeep has done with this 2026 Cherokee? Let me read your comments down there, and for now, I send you my regards. Check out the related video I'm sharing and let me know your thoughts. See you in the next video. Bye.